Well, Khalil, what's it like coming back after you had an injury, and how healthy are you?
I'm at 100% right now, and it just feels pretty good to be able to contribute to the team and just get things back rolling how they were when I left.
How do you feel like you've just adjusted back to the swing of things?
I feel like I got right back at it. I don't feel like there was any drawdown in my style of play or how I was playing. I'm not compensating for anything, so I feel pretty good.
And you got Lincoln coming up on
Mm,
Saturday. It's a long road trip. You guys are on the tear that you guys are on
yeah.
and ranked. What challenges does their offense will give you guys on Saturday?
I mean, they got a lot of speed and they know how to operate within their offense, but we got a lot of good guys too. So we're just gonna play our game and see where it takes us.
How do you keep the defense the way it's going right now? You guys haven't allowed less than 20 points a game the last couple outings.
Hmm. Well, just upholding the standard. Like we want to play our game. We're not gonna adjust to anybody. So the way we play is how we play. So our standard is the standard. We just want to keep that up.
Well, how exciting is it to kind of, like you said, being out, missing time, but now to get back in to a team that's been playing as well as they have been, as you kind of go forward here?
It's exciting to see, but we also still have a long way to go. So we want to just keep a forward-thinking mindset and just play our game.
What was kind of the rehab process like? How long was it? Just kind of for you, just kind of how exciting is it to kind of get back on the field now?
It was about I think 3 or 4 weeks, just rehabbing, getting my strength back, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, and just kind of, I guess Dylan kind of alluded to it, but just kind of what have you kind of maybe noticed on film about Lincoln's offense that could propose some challenges for you guys?
Um, I don't think it's too complicated. I feel like we should have a pretty solid game plan for them. So,
Thank you. Laney?
Hey, Cleo, how's it going?
how you doing?
Good. So, I'm going to bring up the fact that you were injured, like everyone else.
Yeah.
Coming back to a team that's trying to get its sixth win in a row, just
Mhm.
what do you bring to the defense that they didn't have when you were out?
I just feel like I'm back. I don't feel like I bring anything that we didn't have, but I mean, I'm a very physical player. I can lock up and man, I just get the job done when it needs to be done. So I feel like that's what I bring. We got a lot of great players too, though, so not to discredit anybody.
Yeah, and how is it just being out and watching your team still do well without you there? Is it nice knowing that they can still get the job done when you need to recover?
Yeah, it was nice, but it was also hard too because I felt like I wanted to be out there too, just being with the guys, contributing. So it was definitely a sight to see. Like it was a good thing to see, but I'm glad I'm back.
Yeah, all right, that's all I had to add. Thank you.
Thank you.
Vince?
One thing I have is, kind of bouncing off Laney, you're coming back. Obviously, you're thrilled. You guys are ranked. You guys are
Yeah.
probably the hottest you've ever been, obviously, this whole season. You guys beat up on Lincoln last year pretty well. You can't look at that because obviously that's last year.
Mhm.
What are you looking forward to most the rest of the year with this team, you coming back, adding to this defense, and what do you think this team can do in these next couple of games left in the season?
Well, I feel like our best games are ahead of us, so I just want to see how that goes. We've been planning for this. Even last year, we didn't really have we had a decent season last year, but to be where in the position that we're in right now, it feels really good. So we just want to keep going from there.
That's all I got, man. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Good. Thanks, Cleo.
Okay.
Sure.
All right, there you go.
Cole, can you just tell me what's it like on this offense continuing to produce some points and continuing to make an impact?
Our offense is really exciting right now. We feel like we can score in the run game and the passing game, and you'd never know who it's going to come from. I think we have 8 different guys with receiving touchdowns. We have 4 or so guys with rushing touchdowns. We're an offense that can do a lot of damage, and you don't know who's going to do it to you.
What's it like to have that many weapons around you guys, especially when you guys are right there knocking on the door and just trying to do some good things and continue the winning ways?
I think it gives you a lot of confidence. If we have a starter out who just needs a break, you know the next guy. He's going to be just as prepared. He's going to be just as able to go out and execute. So you have confidence not only in yourself to try and make plays and things, but you have confidence in the guys around you. And our quarterback has confidence that he can throw the ball to anybody. and he knows that they're going to be the one to make the play.
You have Lincoln coming up on Saturday in Jeff City. What challenges does their defense will they give you guys?
I think their defense can bait you into and try and take some shots that maybe you shouldn't. I think what we need to do is make sure we take care of the ball, not have any turnovers, and then take what's given to us. There's some soft spots in the zones they play, so we need to be able to hit those and not push too much.
And I guess with this being the first game of the season that you guys are in the top 25, how do you just keep the mindset that it's 1-0?
I mean, I haven't heard anybody talk about the rankings at all on Twitter, but nobody in the locker room, I think, is paying too much mind to that. We're all really excited about what we have going forward and our chances to play Lincoln, Northwest, and possibly make the playoffs. I think that's what we're focused on. I don't think anyone's paying too much mind to the rankings.
Well, obviously, like you just said, no one pays attention to those kinds of things. But like when you're on a winning streak like you are, do you kind of feed off that momentum, or do you kind of try to put the last game behind you and just kind of try to move forward?
I think you definitely feed off the momentum to an extent. Guys certainly have more superstitions and things now. We're trying to do things the same way every week. But I think you do have to put it behind you. We've won some big games against some very good teams. But you can't focus on that. You can take it and learn from it. What did we do well? But you can't bank on, we beat them, so we're going to beat this team now.
And I guess is practice, obviously it's still practice, but is it a little maybe looser when you're playing well this time of the year, or is it just kind of just try to stick to what you guys do well type thing?
I said we definitely try to stick to what we do well, but practice really hasn't changed, and I think that's one of the reasons we've been successful throughout the season, and not just lately, is that we practice the same way all the time, and it's with very high effort, very high focus, and we try to execute at a very, very high level, and you do that every week, no matter who you're playing. I think that's been a big reason for our success.
And is there anything that you've seen about Lincoln's defense that maybe stands out on film as you go into this weekend's game?
Yeah, I think you can attack them underneath really well. We know they're going to play zone, and that's kind of what I alluded to earlier, is that if you're going to try and take shots, you might not be that successful if that's what you're trying to do against a defense that has struggled. You need to take what they give you, and I think a lot of that's going to be underneath routes, and then maybe you can get some big plays off of that.
Lane?
Hey Cole, how's it going?
That's great. How are you?
Good. So I just wanted to ask, being a receiver in this spread offense, just how is it having so many guys to catch the ball versus just a couple guys who often end up being the quarterback's go-to?
It's been fantastic. I mean, defenses can't guard everybody. You can't double cover Corey Thomas and Tyler Common and Jalen Varner, me, Tommy Zimmerman. You can't double cover everybody. And when you have that many weapons, it creates matchup. You saw it a lot with Corey Thomas against Kearney when they have to play him single coverage just because they don't have enough guys, and he has 80 yards in the first 2 drives. Just because you can't cover everybody, and I think it gives Braden confidence too that he has that many weapons out there, and he's not going against a stacked defense on everybody.
Definitely. And just one more question. You mentioned that people have all these superstitions now on the team because you guys are doing so well. Do you have any superstitions that you've been sticking with?
I tell you what, every Thursday I've been going to El Toro, and I get a breakfast burrito. I've been doing that every Thursday now before we go into our meeting. That's been going well. I'll probably keep that up.
All right, good. Thank you.
Vince?
For this team, did you expect this team to be this good, right? Coming off last year, 6-6, not the season you guys wanted, 7-2 right now. What is it about this team that's different from last year that's just giving you guys the spark and now being ranked? I know you guys are not looking at that, but what is it about this team now that's just so different from last year?
On the offensive side, I think we just have more guys stepping up. Whereas last year there were a few guys who were making a lot of plays. But this year we have 3 running backs that can make plays. We have 1 and 2 deep at every receiver position. So we have a lot of guys that can make a lot of plays. And then really a big thing is our defense has been fantastic. I think they're ranked pretty high in the nation, just total defense. They've been awesome every game. The 2 games that we've lost were Pitt State and UCO. They played terrific in both those games. It was really on the offense that let that down. So a big props to our defense.
And, moving forward, I know Coach Higgins has said this is a hungry group. You guys are obviously shooting for the playoffs and of course, to continue moving forward. Is that something this team can do, is make this playoff run and obviously finish out the season a little too far ahead, finish out the season on the right note, and make some noise in the playoffs?
I think it absolutely is. I think as a team we have the right maturity to handle games like that, where they're going to be high-pressure games. We have the maturity. We have the weapons. We have enough guys healthy now. And I think not only are our players in sync with each other, but the players and the coaching staff, I think they've been meshing off each other really well in game planning and installing some new plays, things like that. They've just been gelling really well. So if there was ever a team I've been on here over my 6 years, this is the one.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
How's the confidence with this group right now, putting up some points and down to the final 2 games of the regular season?
I think our confidence is good. It's not too high or anything like that. I think we're at a good spot. We're just kind of level-headed and, trying to take day by day.
What do you feel like the growth has been over the last couple of weeks with the offense?
Really just whether it's starting out fast or starting out slow, I think it's just we find ways to come together and, put drives together and, just make things happen, execute our offense.
I know last week against Hayes, you guys wanted to get a fast start, and you guys did. You're going against a Lincoln team that hasn't won a game, but how do you want to get that fast start coming up on Saturday?
The same way. We need to start off fast. We need to stay, in a rhythm as an offense. Not take any step backs. Just really, continue to get better and just, play our game.
Braden, obviously, you're on the street that you're on right now. You're ranked, and I don't look at those kinds of things. But how important is it to have a veteran team that's kind of been through this before to kind of keep your focus where it needs to be?
I think it helps a lot, when you got a mature locker room, guys understand what's, the task at hand, and it's whether it's practice or any game, any Saturday, it's just taking it day by day and just staying in the moment and worrying about that.
Like Cole was kind of saying, too, all the different weapons you guys have on offense, running the ball, Billy can do both, and all the receivers you have. How does that help you just as a quarterback knowing you have so many different weapons you can get the ball to?
It makes my job easy because I'm just trying to get it out there to them. I mean, those are the guys who are making the play with the ball in their hands. I've just got to get it to them.
And then just kind of Lincoln, I know we don't look at records, but what are some things about their defense that maybe you've noticed on film that could propose a challenge for you guys this weekend?
They're going to play hard. They're going to, play a good game. We just got to play our game and, be us, not try to do anything too much or too special, just play our game.
Laney?
Hey, Braden, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. So I just have one question to add. It might turn into more, but maybe not. So obviously being the quarterback, you make a lot of the decisions on offense, but how do the other guys on offense just relay information to you? Or is there anyone who usually sees things in games that you don't, and they always make sure that you know?
I think probably every bit of one of my receivers tell me something they see, and that's awesome to have because I can't always see the backside of a play or just different looks that they might be getting throughout the game. I think they all come up to me throughout one point and telling me different looks, and I'll go to them too and ask, hey, what do you see and how did it look on your side, things like that. So I think our communication's really good between each other, and it helps out a lot.
Yeah, all right, that's awesome. That's all I had to add. Thanks.
Vince?
Braden, you being one of the, of course, the leaders of this offense, right? You guys are clicking on all cylinders. You're 7-2. Would you? I would want to label it as a trap game, but some might say that way, right? Because Lincoln's winless. This is a game where you guys obviously want to win, but they're going to play their hearts out. You guys have a target on your back. Is this a game that where you guys just can't get in those lulls, as Coach talked about, and just start fast and don't let up, obviously, all game?
Yeah, I mean, we really don't even think about it like that. It's just more thinking of like, yeah, we got to play our game, our brand of football, and just be us and do what we do offensively.
And I know this has been hit on. You can run the ball. Really, if you think about it, 4 running backs. You can run the ball. You have like 3 other running backs. You have all these wide receivers. Have you seen the growth in this team offensively over these last 9 games, where you guys can just obviously continue to get better?
Yeah, and I think we do continue to get better, and I still think there's room to keep going. I mean, I think the sky's the limit. We just gotta keep taking it day by day and just really just prepare and come to practice in the games each and every day, same way.
Is there that one thing that just sticks out to you that you're like, maybe if we just get this, we'll be a team that really can be scary?
That's really not one thing. It's just I think we just cannot put it all together for 4 quarters and just not let our foot off the gas pedal. I think that would be a big thing.
Perfect. Appreciate it, Braden. Thank you.
Thank you.
First off, how's things just been clicking in practice as you guys continue the winning ways?
Well, it's been good. I mean, anytime you're setting where you've won 5 games in a row, I mean, these guys practice hard anyway. I've always said that. They practice the right way. But, yeah, it's been I think, at the same time, I think it's important for us coaches. And one of the things we've talked about is still coaching our guys like it's, first week of camp, and continuing to really concentrate on attention to detail with things, trying to continue to try to get better. I mean, we know what's in front of us. We know what we have to do. And that's why I think it's really important that we keep coaching these guys hard, and when you're 7-2, you can do that.
I guess what challenges lie ahead for you guys going to Lincoln? They might be winless on the season, but they're going to play their hearts out.
Yeah, I mean, they prepare, and they practiced all week as well. We know that they'll be ready to play. For us, it's about executing at a high level. It's about playing clean football, protecting the football, which we have done basically all year. Making sure that we are efficient on 3rd down, making sure when we get inside the red zone that we're putting points on the board. Just those are the things we're concentrating on, and trying to get better definitely as a whole unit. I mean, you got your pieces that each individual coach will work with their guys. They feel like they got to still get better at, but you're also working to get better just as a whole. And that's kind of been our focus this week, And like I said, I think our guys, we've had a good week of practice.
I guess last week you wanted to get a fast start against Fort Hays State. How important is it to get a fast start against Lincoln on the road?
Yeah, I think for us, any game, and we have played well. Like Kearney, we played really well, right? Well, we didn't get off to the best start. I know we went 3 and out on our first drive. So, whenever we talk about it's important to get off to a fast start, that's just about, with our tempo, maintaining our pace throughout the first quarter, trying to be in front of the chains where we're not in a 3rd down situation where we slow down to make sure we get the proper call in. Those are the things we talk about when getting off to a fast start. Now, you go into last week where we were at. I mean, we scored on 5 of our first 6 possessions, so that was that was definitely we got off to a fast start point wise, and then we were also able to keep our pace throughout the game.
Coach, obviously, you're going into this week. You're ranked for the first time this year. I know we don't look at those kinds of things, but how important is it to have the veteran group?
Earmuffs and blinders, but go ahead.
Yeah, to have the veteran group to keep, like you said, keep the focus on the next game.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's very important to have that veteran group that kind of they understand what the message is. They support that message. They, they're able to be the ones that are going out there, and if we want them to practice hard and be attention to detail and think about, the different 1% that we're working on each and every day, that they are, making sure that that's what we're doing, And we've had a good focus this week. We really have, so got to go on the road again. And it's the thing we've talked about really here the last 5 weeks, is just keeping our head down and working hard, getting better, and then when everything's done, we'll raise our head up then and kind of see where we're at.
I guess to that point, practice is the same since the beginning of the season. How does that keeping the practice the same every week help this team as they go forward?
Yeah, I think, and that's a good question. I think for us, it's changed a little bit from a standpoint of how long we're practicing to what we're doing within each practice. I am a big believer, not like totally changing things up. I don't like to do that. But I do think, our structure stays the same. Now, we may work things differently within a practice because the game plan calls for it. So if a team's a heavy blitz team, then we may work blitz period a little bit longer than we did the previous week. So it really kind of depends on who we're seeing and what the game plan is. But our guys are – one thing about football players and football coaches, we're creatures of habit. So we want things to be the same. When they change is when we get out of whack.
Thank you. Lane?
Coach Higgins, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Good.
So with these final 2 weeks of the season, hopefully there's another game after that, but with the final 2 weeks of the regular season, how nice is it to have a guy like Khalil Rasheed back?
Oh, huge. And I think with him, he's gotten so much better from last year, just grown so much as far as not only with his skills, but just leadership. He is, and he's playing really well. I know he's been one of those, he's been worried a little bit about his injury, but I tell him when I see him, it's just, hey, look, I think he looks really good over there on the defensive side of the ball. And it's just like anything else. You want to try to be as healthy as you can right now during the course of the year. And none of our guys feel the same as we did the first week of the season. We're banged up. We're sore. The MIAA is very physical. It's a grind. So you want to be able to get guys that if they've been out, you want to try to, get them back on the field. And he's one of those players where now I feel like he's back in a groove. He's coming off that injury, and I think he's gaining more confidence with that injury too each and every week.
And with there only being 2 regular season games left, are you trying to keep the guys pumped through the last 2 weeks, or are you changing anything just to try to finish out the 2 weeks as strong as you guys can?
Yeah, that's what we're focusing on. I think our guys are pumped in general. It's a good position to be in. We know we got to take it 1 week at a time regardless. It does not matter. And as I said earlier, we might change a few things within practice, but relatively it's the same. We just may change the things that we work on based off the game plan. So, and like I said, we'll kind of start cutting. Practice definitely is not as long right now as it was, say, your first week of the season. So, but our guys have been doing good. I'm really proud of how we've practiced this week.
And Cole mentioned that because you guys have been doing so well, a lot of the guys have developed these superstitions that they've been hanging on to for a few weeks now.
There's a lot of them, yes.
Do you have any that you've been hanging on to?
Well, I haven't cut my hair, so it's long. I know it's gray, all right, but it's long for me. There's the hair guy right here, just walked in. So, but I haven't cut my hair. That's the only thing. I shaved my beard. I got to shave that thing. It itches too much, but so that's the only. I wear the same pants every game. Really, my only coaching pants I got, so I got to wear them. But yeah, that's the only thing I've done. Now I think some of the guys I don't know exactly what all. I know like Coach Cash, my offensive coordinator, he hasn't shaved his beard or cut his hair.
All right, perfect. Keep it up. Thank you.
Yes.
Vince? Coach, how fun is it to, coach this team, right? I can definitely tell you're very happy, you're positive with this team, right? Obviously being 7-2, a lot of players and coaches would be. How fun is it coaching this team right now?
It's great coaching these guys, and I've said this before. and I mean this, that we could be struggling right now. And glad we're not. Glad we're sitting where we're at. But these guys, and we've, this same group that we have, basically the same group we had last year when we were sitting at one time, I think 2-3. And, we come out of that rut. These guys it's a special group. A lot of these guys have been around together for so long. And I think one of the things that I really admire about these guys, and I've said this, but they love the game of football. They love the game of football. And I know that sounds like, well, Coach, they should. They're college football players. Like, again, after practice, they will play catch until I tell them to come in. I mean, 80% of them. They're going to watch film. They have a system in place with how they go about watching film, all positions, and they watch it together or with the coach. They do it at lunchtime. They do it, not only in the meeting times that that we have before practice, but they're doing it outside of football. And they're good students, so it's not like they're struggling right now in the classroom where I'm like, listen, you guys need to get back on the books because you're watching too much film. These guys handle their business, and I think that's what I enjoy so much about being around these guys. I mean, my wife always says that the only thing I can talk about to other people is football. All right. Well, if I got a whole team of guys, players, that they'll talk about football off the field. All right. I mean, that's how they may say, hey, did you see a play ran the other night? It's just a good group, a special group, and they've invested a lot into this football program.
Lastly, for me, Coach, I know when we talked, I can't remember the game. I think it was the Central Missouri, I think it was. I can't, whatever game. You talked about, the roller coaster season. You wanted to find a little bit of momentum. I think you guys have. Do you agree with that?
I do agree. And after we beat Washburn, we'd beat Mo West, and we got beat by Pittsburgh State, and then we went on the road and beat Washburn. After that game was the first time I ever really mentioned the word let's get on a roll. And because I don't like to talk about things in the future, it's concentrate on the week in hand, what's coming up. But I told them we got a chance, guys, to use this game that we just played, and we played really well, to kind of springboard us into kind of going on a run. And I talked to him about it, like, let's accept it. Let's get it. Let's not be afraid to talk about it. We're mature. We're good enough. Let's try to gain some momentum. And that's what we've done. And we've played really, really well. We've had some adversity hit us too on this streak, or we've had to come back and win a game on the road. Teaches you a lot about, our character of this team and how resilient these guys are. So, yeah, it's and we just want to keep it going. But like I said, earmuffs and blinders, keep our head down. Let's go to work.
Thanks so much, Coach. Really quick, I got to ask, did you get your iMessaging fixed? I know it was a couple weeks ago.
Hey, I did. I just got it actually fixed yesterday. So when I left here, Don, you think he'd be able to figure it out, right? But he didn't get it done. So I had one of my younger coaches figure it out. So all of a sudden I started getting a bunch of text messages from people that I didn't even know. So if they think Coach Higgins is winning, maybe they're on a roll right now. I can't talk to anybody. That's not the case. My iMessages weren't working. So I got it fixed.
Awesome. Good to hear.
All right. See you guys.